Hi, James with the 1hoursmarthome.com here, and today we're going to talk about CES, which is a little bit more than a month away for the 2020 show. And what we're going to talk about is what you need to know before you go to CES. So last year was actually my first year at CES, and it was awesome. However, there are a lot of things that I wish that I knew before I went to CES. So whether you're a journalist, a vendor, somebody that's displaying at CES, or somebody that is just going to visit to see all the cool tech out at CES, this is the top 10 things that I've come away with to prepare for CES and get the most out of your experience. So the number one thing, good shoes. Especially if you're going to be there for more than one day. The very first day that I was at CES, I think I walked something like 22 miles, which is crazy. But that gets me to the next point. CES is huge. It is absolutely ginormous, and you need those good shoes because you're going to be on your feet all day. Although, maybe you should stop by one of the massage chair areas that they usually have set up. There's all kinds of vendors that have automated smart massage chairs and stuff for your feet. So I do recommend stopping at one of those throughout the day just to get off your feet for a few minutes, relax, and enjoy some of that technology. But CES is huge. That's why you need those great shoes. So if you're thinking that you're going to wear some dress shoes, just make sure there's something that you're comfortable walking miles and miles in and standing on. The other part of it is you're standing on a conference room floor, which even though it's carpeted, it really doesn't have padding. So you really feel it while you're on your feet versus maybe being in a setting where you've got padding or you're on and off your feet sitting at a chair all day. So it's really important to have good shoes, and CES is huge. Which brings me to my next point. I got off the plane, I was like, take me to CES. Well, the reality is, there's actually 3 huge conference venues for CES. There's 3 different areas where vendors stage the show depending on the technology that they are presenting. It's a good idea to hit all of these 3 if you want to see the entire show, but you don't have to. If you have a specific focus for technology and a certain type of tech that you want to go to, you can choose one of the 3 venues, and it's going to have pretty much everything that you're looking for in that particular venue. But you should definitely check out the map and where those vendors are expoing. Because even though you may have a vendor at CES that you want to meet and you want to go have a meeting with another vendor, they may not be in the same location. So you can't just think that you're going to walk across the conference hall and go meet them in 10, 15 minutes. They may be miles away, and it could take you a very long time to get there. And by the time you get an Uber and everything, your meeting might be over. So it's important to know that there are 3 venues, and just because someone's there doesn't mean they're in the same building as you. Number 4, plan your days. There is so much stuff at CES. If you just wander around, you will wander aimlessly in these conference halls that are so easy to get lost in, and there is so much tech there that you'll just get distracted and you'll see all kinds of stuff that you really don't need to know about. It's not that interesting and it's not that innovative. There's literally 10,000 vendors, it seems like, that are selling phone cases, phone accessories, and all kinds of stuff like that. And that's not to say that's bad. It's just not innovative in what somebody might have expected when they go visit CES. So planning your day in what vendors you want to see or what technology you want to see is going to help you get the most out of your day. And then you can also kind of plan around where you're going to go and what halls you're going to be in so that you can see the tech that you want to see. You'll find that if you want to see smart home stuff, it's usually in one hall. And if you want to see TVs or cell phone tech, it's going to be in another hall. So it's a really good idea to plan your day and just get the most out of it so you can see all the tech you want and then maybe move on to the next space. Number 5, this was one of the coolest things that I enjoyed, which is visiting the award gallery. So every year at the beginning of this show, they do an award for certain types of tech in different categories, and they have a gallery of this. I really like this because it exposed me to all different types of technology that was coming out in new devices that I hadn't heard about and new applications that I hadn't heard about. And it's kind of all condensed the best of the show in one conference hall where you can walk around, spend an hour, and kind of get the flavor for everything in the show. And there's not like vendors there telling you to buy this or giving you their sales pitch and all that kind of stuff. So it was a nice way to just take an hour, see everything at CES and the other halls that I hadn't seen, and get a real flavor for the show. So even if you are more business focused, representing your company there, I highly recommend visiting the award gallery if you don't have time to walk around the whole show, because it's going to give you a flavor for pretty much everything that's there that's been chosen as one of the peer favorites through the show. Number 6, comfortable clothes. Just like comfortable shoes are important, you're going to be on your feet all day and you're going to be moving around. I think the official CES website says business casual, which in 2019, 2020, that could be interpreted as pretty much anything. Well, here's my take on it. I usually wear jeans and either a collared shirt or a nicer t-shirt just because I'm going to be walking around a lot. Not all of you are going to be walking around all day. However, a suit jacket could be a little bit stuffy. If you're walking around, it could be cumbersome because you're taking it on and off and there's not really any place to store your stuff unless you're a vendor and have a booth. Maybe you want to leave it on, that's fine. The other thing that you should think about is it is Vegas. Right? You're probably going to go out afterwards, and depending on where you're staying and where you're exhibiting or what you're seeing, you may not have time to go back to the hotel. So maybe wear something that you feel comfortable going out in afterwards, and something that you're not going to get too hot or too cold in. And that is one of the things that I recommend. You just don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff with you at CES. It seems like you're walking around forever and you've got stuff in your hands. It just kind of ruins the experience because people are always trying to give you stuff. You want to interact with stuff and you don't want to get too hot, too cold. You want to be comfortable while you're there. I'm not saying wear like athletic wear in shorts, but I mean, you could, I guess, but just wear something you're going to be comfortable in all day and that you're comfortable moving around in. That's my suggestion. Number 7, plan your meetings ahead. So once you get to the show, pretty much everybody has kind of already booked their meetings. Probably about a month out, 2 months out, and even 3 months out for people who are really on top of their game. They plan meetings with vendors or influencers or all kinds of stuff. So if you want to plan a meeting with me, go ahead and reach out, info@onehoursmarthome.com, and maybe we can get something together, or we can just see each other at the show, get a beer, walk around, whatever. So I'm interested in seeing people at CES. Maybe you get featured on here, or just having a good time and sharing your experience and story at CES. But planning your meeting ahead is going to make it so you can put multiple meetings in the same venue, all at the same time frame, so you're not split up throughout the day, just running around trying to go to meetings for a half hour, 15 minutes there, spending an hour going back and forth between venues, because you just can waste a lot of time that way. While there are shuttle buses and you can take Ubers, just getting in and out of these facilities takes some time because they're in conference halls inside of casinos typically. And to get to the vendor, it may be a 15 or 20 minute walk through the casino into the conference hall and then wherever your meeting is and then back out. So you're looking at like 10, 15 minutes transit time there, 10, 15 minute transit time out, maybe 15, 20 minutes in an Uber to go point A to point B, because it does get crowded on the roads during CES with people flying in, people flying out. One of the Uber drivers last year told me that it is the busiest week in Vegas. I have no idea if that's true or not, but it's well over 100,000 people that attend the show or are in Vegas for this particular event. Number 8, spend the time with the tech you're interested in. So the first year, I kind of floated around. I tried to see everything. And looking back, I think that was a mistake. I saw a lot of cool stuff, but a lot of it just really wasn't applicable to what I do or what I'm interested in. So I spent a lot of time just getting distracted by things that were cool, but I don't really have that much of an ongoing interest in. So a week later, I kind of just forgot about it. I didn't do anything with it. I would say if there is something you're interested in, like for me, it's smart home security, smart home devices, robotics, spend more time with those vendors, with those items at CES, and really take your time to learn the technology, have an in-depth conversation, and kind of understand what's going on. I got way too distracted last year, and I was looking at everything in all the vendors and spending too much time with things that really weren't that interesting. And like I said, I just kind of forgot about it a year later. Number 9, go to an event or party. There are all kinds of functions that are hosted with corporate partners and CES after the show. There's happy hours, parties later, events. Go to one of these events, have a good time, and enjoy Vegas. And the last is number 10. You're in Vegas. Have fun. Easy enough, right? If you're at the show all day, maybe you think that you haven't been working. But the reality is, if you're at the show all day, you'll realize that it is actually a lot of work compared to maybe just sitting in your office and being on your chair. There's a lot going on. You have to meet a lot of people, converse with a lot of people, walk around, talk about your product if you're displaying one, and just do all kinds of stuff. So at the end of the day, you deserve it. Go have fun, enjoy Vegas. Maybe you're from a part of the world that doesn't have a Vegas, or maybe you just like Vegas, or maybe you've never been to Vegas before. Enjoy it. It's a fun place. And I'm from Chicago. It is freezing cold here. It is nice to get a little bit warmer weather in Vegas. When I go there, there's still palm trees. The sun's usually shining. So have a good time. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope you enjoyed our tech tips for CES and how you can get the most out of it for things that you should know before you go. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna have all kinds of good stuff for CES once we get there. So I just wanted to give this video to you guys a month before CES starts so you know how to prepare. Thank you.